Hold on. This is Alan Stark here from MMA Suck. We're Ricardo Lamas, who will be fighting Jose Aldo in the co-main event of UFC 169. Now, Ricardo, we know you're obviously fighting Aldo, who has such a long winning streak. Do you feel like he has the mystique of Anderson Silva to the point where some fighters get intimidated by him and they're kind of hesitant?
Yeah, I definitely think that. I think a lot of guys that have fought him and have lost against him have lost a fight before even getting in the octagon with him. You know, like they're already mentally beat before they get in there. I'm not going to have a problem with that. You know, I'm very mentally, I'm a very strong person. And, you know, my goal is to prove to the world that Jose Aldo is a human being and he could lose just like anybody else.
Now, where do you see, obviously, Chris Weidman is here today, you know, what he did to Anderson Silva in July. Do you get any inspiration from that and you feel you could do the same thing?
Of course, yeah. I was there live for that fight, so I saw it happen in person, and it was awesome. And, yeah, I definitely want to be the Chris Weidman of the 145-pound division.
Nice. That division's coming up. We see a lot of big names coming through. Are you excited for the prospects? Because for a few years now, it's been kind of, you know, not been talked about as much. Now you see, obviously, you know, Egder's come and the Conor McGregor story. What do you think about the 145 division as a whole?
I thought the 145-pound division is one of the best divisions in the UFC. I've thought it for years, and now the public is starting to realize that, you know, just from the exposure we got from the UFC, from the merger in 2011, and adding us in, and you know, everybody sees the exciting fights that we put on, and people are just starting to realize that we're a great division.
Seems like you're already starting training camp. I see some cuts on you. How's it been going so far?
It's been going good, yeah. Training never stops. You know, it's I train every day, but I've just been kind of ramping it up now, and yeah, I got a nice shiner from one of my training partners, and it's going good.
Are you a little disappointed not to fight in Chicago? I know it's, you know, your hometown and everything. Would you have liked to fight there, or you have no problem fighting in Jersey?
You know what? There are pros and cons of both cards. I mean, fighting on the Super Bowl card is awesome. It's going to be a pay-per-view event. I did get the opportunity to fight in Chicago in January for my last fight, and it was a great experience, and I'd love to do it again. So, you know, I was a little disappointed, but then on the other hand, I get to fight on one of the biggest cards of the year now.
Absolutely. Now, looking back at the fight, Coach, not many people were picking you, and you kind of surprised them. What did you think made you? Was it like, would you consider an easy fight, or like what exactly happened in that fight?
In the Coke fight?
Yeah, like what? Because a lot of people were shocked. Everyone's like, oh, Eric Koch, you know, big name. He was supposed to fight Aldo. He was going to roll past you, and you pretty much annihilated him.
I'm used to being the underdog. Me being kind of a quiet person and not talking a lot of trash caused me to fly under the radar a lot. Mm-hmm. And you know, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. You know what I mean? Just because I don't talk trash doesn't mean I'm not a strong person and that I can't, you know, hold my own in the octagon. But the Coke fight, he's definitely a tough guy, and things just went my way that night. You know, that's what happens in this fight game.
What do you think about him going up to 155 now? Do you think it's a good move for Coke? I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I did hear about it. He's a young guy, you know, and he's still growing. He's probably still gaining muscle mass and stuff, so it's probably a smart decision for him. If it was hard for him making the 145-pound weight class, you know, it's just one of those things where you can't you know, tell your body to stop growing.
Nice. Last question I have to ask you, Silva Weidman. Do you do predictions or no?
Yeah.
You do prediction? What do you?
I do the predictions. Is like, well, if this happens, then he'll win. But if this happens, then he'll win. No, I mean, it depends on which Anderson Silva is going to show up.
Okay.
If he does the same thing as he did in the last fight, I think Weidman's going to take it again. If he comes in serious, if he doesn't, you know, do any showing off or anything, then, you know, I might lean towards Anderson Silva. But I would never count Weidman out of this fight.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Ricardo.
Thank you.